I've heard horrible stories where the Turkish men take them, like the money they give. You even know this from when you are moving on the road. Some Turkish people, they see you, Turkish men, and they are like, hi, 50 lira, 100 liras. That means some girls were collecting that money to survive. Some girls were taking $10 to survive. While I finished school, I was working in Turkey. I had someone I was engaged to, and this
Okay.
person was living in the UK.
Okay.
And then we were like, okay, I don't want you. Okay, I remember going to Germany, and the guy said, if you remain in Germany, it's over between us. So I moved back because we were processing, wanted to do the wedding process, everything like normal for you to come over. If you've moved to
Hmm.
Germany, oh, I don't want, and that. So I came back, okay, stayed in Turkey and all that. And things didn't work out. And I said, why did I come back? Okay. I regretted.
Hello, guys. I welcome you live on SVTV International, our new YouTube channel. Like I said, I keep prompting you guys that 2024, we are starting a new channel, which is SVTV International. And this channel is 100% English. So if you want to join us, I mean, you are welcome on board. If you are new on our channel, make sure you tap subscribe, like, share, invite your friends. This platform is open to all Africans. Everybody, you can come on our channel and share your story wherever you are, what you've been doing, what you've been through in life, good or bad. So this platform is for storytelling. And today I'm going to Turkey to go and have a chat with my first guest in 2024, Rikia. I welcome you live on SVTV International. How are you doing?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm okay. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Happy New Year.
Same to you. So nice to be here.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome on
Yeah.
board. Like I said, you are the first person to have you on
Oh,
my on this
that's
SVTV
lovely.
International. You are the
That's
first person.
lovely. I'm honored. That's so
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get to know you. I mean, what's the name? Ricky what?
Yeah, Rick, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ricky Ayaya.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's most like like it's a surname, and it's a Cameroonian name, like my local name,
Oh,
which
okay.
simply mean like someone, like a breadwinner in my country.
Oh, okay.
Simply where I come from, it means a breadwinner of the family.
Oh,
So I was given that
okay.
name by my grandmom. Yeah. As you know, I'm from Cameroon. I'm from the
Oh,
English speaking of Cameroon, by the way. I'm not from the French speaking of Cameroon, because we all know Cameroon is divided into two parts,
two.
the English and the French speaking. Yeah, and the French speaking is made up of 80%, and the English part of Cameroon is about 20%. We have
Mm,
few Muslims and Christians. We have
mm,
so many Christians and
mm.
other people, other churches in Cameroon as well. Yeah, I'm from a family of three. I am based in Turkey right now. I've been in
Okay.
Turkey for almost 10 years.
10 years in Turkey. Wow.
Yeah, I've been in Turkey for almost 10 years. And people
Wow.
don't know this. People who know me, they're like, when I tell people, they're like, really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I came to Turkey on a Turkish scholarship, because when I finished my high school, I wanted to get a scholarship because I wasn't from a well to do family. So I wanted to
Mm.
go to a better country to hustle, but I wanted to go as a student. So I applied, I think I applied to about five scholarships. And the only scholarship I got was a Turkish government scholarship. So then, back then, Turkey wasn't as popular as it is right now. My family was like, no, we can't let you go. My dad was against it because we didn't know anyone in Turkey. But my mom was like, okay, I think it should be her first adventure. She should go and let's see how it goes. If you are not okay, you can always come back. So the people who were like the Turkish government were about six of us. I was the only girl, five
Mm.
boys who got the undergraduate scholarship. So
Wow. I'll come back to Turkey. Which part of Cameroon are you from?
I'm from the English part of Cameroon.
But
The
what's the name? We like your
north
town or something?
northwest Bamenda. people from Northwest Bamenda they speak like English.
Okay.
But we also learn French in school. Yeah. I'm from Bamenda, precisely from So.
Okay, so tell us more about your Bamenda, your culture, lifestyle there, growing up, siblings, and all that.
Yeah.
Let's get to know you.
Bamenda actually in Cameroon is known, like when you talk about Bamenda, you already think of culture. There are people that are culture invested in Cameroon. Like we believe in tradition so much. And we love to intermarry we just want to intermarry amongst us, where I am from. And we have our popular food, we call it achu. Achu, yes.
Achu
And
is someone's name, people's name in Ghana.
Oh,
someone's name in Ghana is Achu.
Yes, that's true. That's food in Cameroon. Achu and fufu. We have achu and fufu.
Achu and fufu, yeah.
Yes. Achu, the fufu's name, the meal is called kati kati. And then there is achu. So these two meals, when you come to Cameroon, you say, okay, you talk about these two things from the English part of Cameroon, from Bamenda. You know, when someone says, when a girl is growing up, you must know how to cook these two stuffs. If you can't cook them, then you aren't ready for marriage. You know? Yeah. And then actually most people English speaking, just a few, is rare. It's hard to find an English speaking person from Cameroon who is a Muslim. It's rare. So when I say I'm Muslim from though I don't look like I know. When I say I'm from that Bamenda and I'm Muslims, people are like, I'm a Muslim. People are like, oh, how come? You know, because few or most of them are Catholics. Most people from Bamenda are Catholics. They like to be Catholics. They're born Catholics. Their parents. So, also, what else can I talk about? Bamenda. Bamenda, as we know in Cameroon, they say Bamenda is marginalized. You know, they don't really, the place is underdeveloped as compared to other the French part of Cameroon. They say so, but you know, I don't know. I think so as well. So we have roads on undeveloped roads and all that. But they are a happy people, and they are very tradition conservative. Like they are united. Yeah,
are they nice people? Do they welcome strangers?
Yes,
they
are
nice
very
people?
welcoming. They are very welcoming. Yeah. And then there is this thing about from Bamenda. There's this thing in Bamenda. When a guy meets in Cameroon, mostly when a guy meets a girl and where are you from, and they say from Bamenda, they just have that notion that girls from Bamenda, they can keep a home, they can cook, they can do this. You know, it's something they just generalize around the country. You understand? So that is how that's how Bamenda
what
is.
about your siblings? How many siblings you have?
Yeah, I'm from a family of 3. I have a kid brother who lives back in the country with my mom and dad. Then I have a sister who is married in Germany. Yeah, I'm in the middle. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So why are you looking for scholarship after high school? You said you were looking for scholarship, searching around.
Yeah, you know, when I finished high school, I wasn't from a well-to-do family, and I wanted to travel out of the country. So that was the only option I had. To find a scholarship, apply for school, since I knew that I did well in doing my high school. My high school results were good. So the only option I had was to look for scholarships around the world, the countries that I knew, okay, I could target them with my, you know. I had an aunt that was working in the Turkish embassy. So when I went for this, and she was like, okay, your mom was talking about you applying for scholarship. Why not apply for Turkey as well? I'm like, Turkey? I've never heard. Like, where is it? She tried to talk me into applying. So I did the applications. And when it was time, I got only the Turkish scholarship. So I had to move to Turkey at the age of 18. Yeah.
18. You were young.
Yeah, I was very young then. 18. I had to move to Turkey. 18, 19.
Okay. So, when you got the opportunity, then you move out. Let's hear when you got to Turkey.
Yeah, when I got to Turkey, I didn't know anyone, so I had to live with 2 Turkish girls, because they wanted me to learn the language. So when you get to Turkey, when you're on Turkish scholarship, you are obliged to learn the Turkish language 6 months for intensive studies, language studies. So after the language, before you can go start your university course. So while I was learning the language, I lived with 2 Turkish girls. So they really helped me. While I was living them, they facilitated my learning Turkish. So I was able to learn Turkish fast because of those girls. They didn't understand English because most Turkish don't speak English. Those girls didn't know English and I didn't know Turkish. So we had no choice. They had to start teaching me Turkish. And when I was done with, in 6 months, I was done. I got the Turkish certificate. Then I went to the university to study economics. But economics in a Turkish public university, which was 100% in Turkish language, no English.
Wow,
Yeah,
100% in your language.
Yeah, the professors lecture in Turkish, the books are in Turkish, everything. So I went to, and then here in the university, it's a 4 years course. I don't know, my country in Cameroon is 3 years. I don't know about Ghana. If it's Ghana is 3 years or 4 years, I don't know. But in Turkey, it's 4 years. So I went to school for 4 years. Yeah. And after graduating from school, I didn't do anything with the economics. Do you know what I had to do? First of
What
all,
did you do?
I became
But
an
why did you
English.
choose, first of all, why did you choose economics?
I was good in maths and because while in high school, I was good in economics and maths. Maths, further mathematics and economics. These were where I got my great results, like great points. So my mom was like, okay. And also when you apply, they looked at your results before they gave you your course. So if you don't like it, then you say, okay, I'm backing down. I don't want the scholarship. So I got economics and I studied economics in Turkish. And when I finished, I became an English teacher. Yeah, because when you come to Turkey, especially when you come, when you get to the school where they are studying Turkish language, you notice they are mostly people from French countries and Somalians, and most of them don't even understand English. They understand Arabic, French, and then they are learning Turkish. You can find someone who studied in Turkey and they did their scholarship, but they don't even know English. And then also in Turkey, they don't speak English, so they were in need. When I finished university, that time they were so in need of English teachers. That was when as an African coming to Turkey, you could really make it. You understand? Because then it was easy to get a visa to come to Turkey. It was easy to come here and get a job because we were looking for English teachers. The government started imposing English in the schools. And so it was easy to get a job. And I looked around and I said, okay, a job that was less stressful and was paying better was the English teaching. Rather than, I have friends who went into doing translation, who knew French and English, because from my country, we learned French and English, then who knew Turkish as well. They were doing translating from Turkish to English, English to Turkish, French to Turkish, and some were working as receptionists, doing different things, their field of studies. But I looked at it and I said, okay, if I was going to do something in economics, I don't really see myself working that long, because when you're working like a receptionist or other jobs in factories or so, it's more stressful. You put in a lot. Whereas when you're an English teacher, you just have your hours, you go teach your lessons, finish, you go to your home. So I choose to become an English teacher. It wasn't easy, but I've been an English teacher for 5 years now. And yeah.
Let's talk about the sponsorship when you got there. I mean, the scholarship and all that. You know, one day you met some few people, and then
well, when I was coming to Turkey, we knew that I got.
Where you stay on campus, I mean, feeding yourself and all that, all those things.
When I left from Cameroon, because they just told me to do my passport, I did my passport, and I went to the embassy the same day. They gave me the Turkish visa, and they were like, okay, you will get your ticket in 2 days. I got my ticket. And they said, okay, the other people are traveling in 1 week. Why not join them rather than coming alone? I joined them. So when I came and reached, they took us to the hostel where I told you I was living with 2 Turkish girls. We're living in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same, it's like in the same room, like it's a hostel. So we had the same room, toilet, 3 of us in the same place. So it was really hard the first week because I thought of going back to Cameroon. And then the people I came with, the 5 boys, we were all in different universities. That means when we were not in the same university, we're in different campuses, different hostels. So I didn't even see them anymore. It's only when we started contacting each other on Facebook after. So after I think like 2 weeks, I was just in the hostel. They would just come and call, come over to, they'll take me. I didn't even know what they were doing. They just take me to certain places, speak and tell me to sign. I didn't even know what I was doing. I would just sign, go back to the hostel, sleep, call my talk to my friends on Facebook because I had Facebook before leaving, and I would just chat them with my little phone on Facebook. And then one evening, they came and said, oh, you have to come to the bank the next day and create your account. Like, what for? And they're like, oh, you have your scholarship includes an allowance every month. Yeah. And so I was in the hostel. Food was free, of course. So when I went and they told me the amount they were to be given, because then the Turkish monetary value was really good. I think then $1 was equal to 1.6 Turkish lira. $1 was 1.6 Turkish liras then. So getting a scholarship of 1,000 Turkish lira then was like $1,000. And at that age, I wasn't brought up to use money. So all the scholarship I got every month, I sent to my mom. I was always excited to collect the scholarship and send to my mom. I didn't want to know what she's going to do with the money. I just wanted to tell my mom, like, I am fine and I'm getting money, free money. So all I needed to do was go to school in the morning, come back in the afternoon, go and eat and study Turkish language. All my books were provided. The allowance was until I graduated 1 year, like 1 year after my graduation. Like if you graduate for example, this year, they continue for 1 year. Then when they know that you've maybe gotten something or you've returned back to your country, if you want to go back to your country, they pay your flight ticket back to your country. And if you did well in your studies, they will look at maybe a Turkey, if there's something connected, they have anything connected to Turkey, like they just opened Turkish Airlines. That was around 2017. The students who graduated then, some of them got jobs in African country where they got Turkish Airlines, maybe working as or whatever. People, I know if a friend went back to Cameroon and is working in Turkish Airlines. So it was up to you, and I chose not to go back. So I decided to stay back. It was not really easy, but I would say to me it was a great opportunity because I learned a language. I remember going to. It was really easy to travel because then I was traveling. When I was a student, I didn't have to do much to leave Turkey, ask for a visa. The fact that you're on scholarship, they don't think you're going to leave your scholarship to go remain in America or Europe. I think before I was done with graduation, I left to Europe about 3 times. And I didn't need to provide anything except my scholarship, documents. Like I'm on scholarship in Turkey. I'm just going for vacation. It was really fun then, but now Turkey is not what it used to be.
Things have changed.
Yeah,
So
things have
for
changed.
the past years you've been teaching, right?
Yeah,
How many years now?
5 years.
5 years.
5
How
years,
is
yeah.
the teaching? How is teaching life there? I mean,
I teach middle school and high school. That is middle school, secondary school. We say in secondary school in Africa, and high school is that means middle school starts from the ages of 11 to I teach 11 to 16. And teaching here is not as hard like in Africa. because they don't know the language. It's like you find ways to talk to them, have fun with them. It's not like in Africa where you need to prepare as a teacher, prepare the lessons, make the lesson plan. Here we have the lesson plans done and given to us. We just need to take the books. We have all the books downloaded on the board, because these are they have the smart boards. They have the book downloaded there. They have all the videos you need to use, the pictures you need to show the students are all downloaded on the smart board. You just need to open, explain to them. It's not, and then when you're teaching English, you're teaching them basics. You're not going to be teaching them how to solve maths in English. No. You're teaching them grammar, how to use present simple, how to use the past simple, and you don't go that deep, because it's their first time they like knowing English. Though you meet some of the students who travel to other countries, the UK, to America, those ones, at least they know something in English. But we target the ones who know nothing. Yes. So it's not really, you don't do much like back in Africa. The teachers used to do too much. Yeah.
Wow. So, what has changed now? How is the hustling life? I've been hearing, I've had a chat with few people, and then there's the things have changed now in Turkey. They are deporting people and all that. The money, the value, and all that. Things have changed. I mean, you've been there for the past 10 years. Well, what has changed now in Turkey?
When I came to Turkey, $1 was 1.6 Turkish lira. But right now, $1 is 30 Turkish liras. That's a drastic drop in the value. That means now for you to work, survive with Turkish lira is not easy as it was before. Take it that someone who was working as an English teacher who was getting 1,000 Turkish lira then cannot be compared to someone who is like, everything has become so expensive. Now, coming to the side of deportation and all that, before it was quite easy to come to Turkey. Getting a Turkish visa was very easy. Also, living in Turkey was very easy because, when I came to Turkey then, they weren't blacks the way they are now. We didn't have Africans the way we have now. When I went to the university, I was the only Cameroonian then, I remember, in doing an undergraduate program in my university. I was the only Cameroonian doing an undergraduate program. There were two Cameroonians. The other person was doing a PhD. That is to tell you how hard it was to see Africans in Turkey. But now, there are so many of them. And then, I will say, most of them, they are the very people who spoiled Turkey because of the opportunities that were given to most of them, and they misused it. For example, I'm not trying to say all the Africans, some of them. People come here to study. You are given a visa to come as a student. Then you come, you abandon school. They don't see you for a whole year. And so it kept going on with so many students. And when they realized, they're like, okay, people are just collecting the visa just to come to Turkey and then do their stuffs. They come and then they don't go to school. So we have to stop giving the visas. Also, when it comes to deportation, I think, how do I say? I think in Turkey, I can say, when it comes to the deportation, right? You don't even need to. I know some people they deported who had residence permit. And
you have residence permit, they will deport you.
I know of people they deported with.
Once you have residence permit.
No, when you have residence permit, you can live in Turkey. But I knew of people they deported even with the residence permit.
Why?
For example, you have residence permit, then you go to the club, with the student, they go to club and then they are fighting. So Turkey considers you a nuisance. We give your residence permit, we give you our residence permit for you to be a nuisance. So we don't want that. So you know that this is the country is trying to reduce the immigrants in their country. And then you are still involving yourself in crime. Like, what do you expect? Like so many, there are so many immigrants in Turkey, so many. I'm not trying to say we are not supposed to be here. No, it's normal. But they also got fed up and they are trying to reduce the number of immigrants in the country. You know, as an African, that this is what they are doing. Then avoid certain things. Even in Europe, people who don't have papers in Europe, they don't behave the same in public the same as people who have papers. You have to comport yourself. When you know that you are illegal here, you have to comport yourself. So if you don't comport yourself and you get into crime or anything, then you have to go. They hold you, even with the residence permit, they say, no, you have to go. We are sorry. So that's the thing. If you stay in your house, you mind your business, though they were coming to the homes. Now it got to to a point where they were coming to the houses and telling people, come out and show your residence permit. But I know of a girl who didn't have a residence permit. She was my neighbor. They got to her. She called me and said, this is the case. I came to her house and the police were there and she didn't know how to speak Turkish. They asked me, like, why is your friend not having residence permit and she's still in this country? I was thinking of what I had to say before leaving my home. So I said, okay, this girl, she's married to, she's waiting for her husband to go back to Africa. And he's like, why waiting for your husband? I'm like, the husband is an American and they have to go back together. They plan to go back next month. And they are like, then she should go and wait for her husband in Cameroon. I'm like, they are going to get married. So they are buying their wedding stuff from Turkey and they will be going together. They were like, okay. She started crying. They were like, okay. After they said, okay, we don't want you staying in this country. Please make sure you go to Cameroon. That was it. And then in the case that my friend was caught in club or fighting or smoke, doing some certain things, maybe getting drunk, they wouldn't even ask her these questions. They would just tell her to go. Yeah. So they just using that opportunity. Any slight thing you do now, you have to leave Turkey. So if you have your residence permit, you still have to behave yourself. Don't think that because you have residence permit, then you go to fight, go to the club, broke bottles, or do whatever. You cannot. Before, it used to be like that. They did anything, people did anything they wanted. And then Africans tend to think that they are the ones who are being deported. I would say the highest people that are being deported are Syrians. Syrians are the ones suffering more. Because immediately you say you are Syrian, bye-bye. I think Africa, they even consider, I think they are really considerate when they come to Africans. They have that soft spot for Africans. They think, oh, they are poor. Let's let them, they are poor. That's what they think, most of them. And I'm like, okay, yes, I like it. I'm poor. Thank you. Let me keep on staying. You understand? But African think, oh, we are experiencing the worst. I said, no. Syrians are they are seeing the worst life, living the worst in Turkey more than you as an African. Turkish people have that soft spot for Africans. But when you misbehave right now, because they are trying to reduce the number of foreigners in Turkey, then you have to go.
Why are they trying to reduce the number of immigrants?
I think they have a lot. I don't think there's any country that has, there's no country in the world. Turkey is the country with the highest number of immigrants.
I heard it's only the capital, Istanbul, but the other
yes, and then
it's not choked.
Yes, everybody lives in Istanbul. Everybody, to the extent that they even said, okay, if you are in Istanbul, we are not giving any residence permit, renewing residence permit for people in Istanbul, but people still go to those cities, renew their residence permit, showing that they're in that city, and then they come and rent houses in Istanbul. So Istanbul is so crowded. And they are tired of people who don't, if you're caught, for example, you're supposed to live in Izmir, your residence permit is showing that you're living in Izmir, and they see you in Istanbul. Like, they have proof that you're living in Istanbul, you'll be deported. Because they are tired of everyone just coming and
I heard they don't even deport straight away. They will arrest you, you go to prison, and you need to get family back home to buy you tickets before.
I will even say I will even say I prefer they deport you immediately than going to keep you in those places, because I know of people.
They have kept
who
a lot of people there. That's what I
Yes,
heard.
I know of people who have gotten terrible diseases from those, because it's not conducive. It's something you should not wish to go there. To me, if today I have to be in Turkey without a residence permit, I will choose to go back rather than me staying in the cell or in the prison for one day, because people have died. I know of the third case. The first was a Nigerian, second was a Congolese, and the other day was somebody from Ivory Coast. Like, you get there, the way they live there, you can easily contact a deadly disease. So people have died that are removed from the cell and their bodies are buried. So I always tell anybody, if you are not having residence permit, or when you are going out or living your life, be ready to go any day, because I don't see why you want to go and live in the cell. If your court is
I heard some people. I heard some people have the residence permit when it expires and they want to go and renew it. They don't renew it for them too.
Yes, because tourists, because most people had the tourist residence permit. Now, as they want to reduce the immigrants, they say, okay, you're having a tourist residence permit. You are a tourist, but you have been living in Turkey for years, so we are not renewing anymore. The only residence permit we are renewing is student, business, or work permit. If you're a worker, you're a student, or you're a business person, that means they only want people that are bringing something to their economy to live here. You're a student, you're paying school fees. You're a worker, you're giving out your, or you're a business person, you're coming and buying from Turkey. So if you're a tourist, they don't want you anymore.
So it's just like you are contributing to the country, eh?
Yeah.
So you are free to go anywhere.
Yeah. You use
Or do they stop you? Do they stop you when you go out? Do they stop you to check your papers?
The
and all those
funniest
things?
thing is, I've been stopped. I've been in Turkey for 10 years. I've been stopped just once. That was 2 years ago.
Why? Why only once?
I don't know. Maybe, see, the way, first of all, I just think. See,
Is it the way you carry yourself, or
no, I think
how?
if you are living in Turkey, right, the moment a Turkish police person can greet you and you greet him back in Turkish, and he knows that you know Turkish, it's an advantage.
Oh, okay, the language. That's important.
I have met the day they even asked me for my residence permit. I told him in Turkish, like, do you look at me like someone who doesn't have residence permit in Turkey, someone who is illegal? And then he laughed and he said, where did you learn Turkish from? And I said, from Izmir. He said, did you study here? I said, yes, I studied in this university. And he was like, oh, wow. And that was it. Bye-bye. I didn't even show him anything.
So that means the advantage is you have to learn their language too when you are there. That helps.
They have a soft spot for someone who knows their language. But when they catch you and then you say, I don't understand, there's a high possibility that you're going to the prison. Yeah, and you cannot force people to learn the language, because immediately you tell someone learn, they say, what am I going to do with Turkey? I say you lose nothing. You lose.
So learning the language is important.
Yeah, if you are living in a place where they don't speak English, you have to learn their language to survive. Not because you like it. You learn the language to survive. If you go to Germany, are you going to live in Germany without learning German? You will. So why is it that when it comes to Turkish, you say, no, I will not? Then be ready to face the consequences. Because I've not seen, I don't know, maybe there is, I've not seen a student or a person who came to Turkish and learned Turkish language and was deported or is in some kind of situation. It's always those who know nothing who can say, please call a translator. I'm going to call my friend, is going to translate. They will be like, no, don't waste our time. But when you can be able to speak their language immediately, they will start laughing and they'll be like, really, where did you learn? And this is how they let you be. I'm not saying it's in every case, but 95% chances are that when you know the language, you can easily navigate in Turkey and you can easily survive from some situations. But when they catch you and you start saying, I want to call someone, I don't understand Turkish, they just say, this one is just here, taking space for no reason. They will just understand that you are not a student, you don't work in Turkey, because you know that most people who are students in Turkey, they kind of like learn one or two things in the language. Or the workers, they know Turkish. Then when they see you and you don't know, and they just know you're a tourist, they know that you came here, you are just occupying space. So
What you are saying about learning the language is very important, but most of the Africans, when we travel to non-English speaking country, we don't want to learn their language.
yeah, that is it.
Language should be the main priority. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
learn that one first, then they will accept you, because
Yeah,
like
do
you
you know
said, when
something? Do you know something? When someone goes to you land yourself in the Turkish police or something, the Turkish people will tell you, the police, or they will tell you, we need a translator for you. And then they tell you, we are bringing our own translator. You have to pay like $300. You have to pay $500, and you lose. But if you were, I have had to do translation for so many people, like just to go and stand and they ask questions or what, like this, to an extent that at a certain point I started saying, okay, before you call me, you're gonna drop $100. Then I'm ready to do the translation, because people always call you when they know that you're gonna do it for free. So I'm like, oh, I've been doing this, and some people are making money out of it. Why not? So when you call me, I'm like, okay, $100. Because if the Turkish police bring their own translator, it's gonna be $300 or more than that. So, but when you tell someone, you can't force someone to learn the language. When you tell, and I'm gonna say this, when I got it, I'm not good at English. I'm not from a country where we learned English that I'm really good in English. What got me my job was because I spoke Turkish. When I went for the
oh,
Turkish interview, there were two girls from Iran. I was there. There was a Nigerian girl and there was a Russian. There were five. We went for the interview. I wasn't the best. Now, the manager came and said, okay, in this situation, this girl is not good in English as the other one, because there was a Nigerian girl doing her master's. She was really good literature, and there were the Iranian girls and Russian girls were really good. Now, if we have issues in school, if the student, anything happens in class, how are you going to defend yourself in front of the parents? So they put that into consideration before they hire you. They want to know that if something happens, you can defend yourself. I don't know about other schools, but that is what my school told me. Because students can fabricate terrible stuffs, especially when they know that you're a foreign teacher and you don't understand the language. They can put you into trouble, claim things you did not do. So they were like, okay, the manager doesn't understand English. The assistant manager doesn't understand English. It was just the English teacher that they had in the school that interviewed me, and he understood English. And they were like, okay, since this one speaks Turkish, she's better off than the other ones. And so I started teaching English with lots of issues. I would make mistakes and learn from this. Sometimes I would learn from some of the students. But as time went on, I now knew, okay, this is what I'm supposed. So when you go to a place to survive, one thing to capture them, one thing you have to learn their language.
language is very important.
Yes,
But
it's very important.
let's talk about, it looks like a lot of people too is this agents that they lure them. They're telling them that when they get to Turkey, there is a bus waiting for them to join to go to Germany and all
Yeah.
that. And when they get there, they
Mhm.
become stranded, and then they try to hustle to fit in the system.
Yeah.
They don't have money to return back home. And then most of them are stranded working this factory hand job and all that.
Yeah. The
it
worst
bounce
job.
back to it bounce back to researching or reading. We hear say what people tell us, we just follow them, then we go and lock up there.
Yes. You know, when you are coming to Turkey, before I used to hear those cases, an agent will tell you that you come to Turkey and enter a bus to to to Greece, or enter a bus to France, to Germany. This were one of the things that they told lots of people before they came to Turkey. And there's no such thing. I mean, no such thing. If you are leaving from Turkey to just cross, you are going illegal. It's an illegal process, and it's through the water, and that is not something I would even advise someone to do. And people did it, yes, but some people died in the process. Crossing to Greece, many people, thousands of Africans died crossing to Greece. Because when they reach here, they discover that there was no such thing as a train going to Germany. Then the only choice they have is to go through Greece. Then those who are scared, they remain here, then work in the factories. Then this still boils down to the language. Those who work in the factory are those who cannot understand Turkish, or those who are not educated. You would work in the factory, and this is not something I would wish on anyone. Because I knew of someone, a girl who came from Cameroon, a mother. She gave birth and will stand on her feet the whole day, ironing clothes and folding them in factories, and the pay is terrible. The pay is terrible. I will not wish that on my enemy. Because that girl will come back, she cannot move her, and she has to do it because she has a son to feed. She was told that she would just come and go to Germany, and she didn't see that this is what is going to happen. So I have no choice than to just go work in the factories. People who can work in those factories and even try to survive are men. I mean, men who have power. Now, you as a woman, and that's why I would say, I'm sorry to say this, people who live in Turkey, that's why I would say the rate of African girls prostituting in Turkey is very high, because they come with a notion that it's easy, they are going to cross. When they cannot cross, they cannot feed themselves, they do prostitution, or they are forced to date these old Turkish men to survive.
Wow.
Yes, they are forced to date. I've heard horrible stories. I've heard, so I have heard horrible stories where the Turkish men take them, like the money they give. You even know this from when you are moving on the road. Some Turkish people, they see you, Turkish men, and they are like, hi, 50 lira, 100 liras. That means some girls were collecting that money to survive. 50 liras, 100 liras. I don't know how much that is about. That is about, some girls were taking $10 to survive. And I'm not trying to look like a saint, but I'm saying this, most of those agents, they frustrated. I've been in Turkey for 10 years, but I said, this is not what I'm going to do. If you want, people who were my friends, I made admissions for them. People who I knew that their families were well-to-do, not someone who will come here and go to sleep with a man to survive. I did that, did admissions. I mean for free, not collecting money from anyone. They were girls I knew that their mother or dad could send money every month to Turkey. So most of those girls that came to Turkey that I made, and most of them are no longer in Turkey, because people who were smart, they came as students. And back then, if you come as a student, there was this program called Erasmus. It was easy. You don't even need the Erasmus exchange program. It was easy to leave Turkey, just go to the embassy as a student. It was the easiest way to leave to America, Canada, Germany. So most of those students left to those countries. And when you came that you are not a student, you cannot get a visa because you're a tourist here. So how come you want to come as a tourist and go to another country? Though some people are getting it, but it's rare. It's rare. It's really rare.
Wow.
So it's...
But Ricky, why are you still there? If the things have changed, the money is not good and all that, why are you still there? You could have easily moved to other places, other European countries, or go to America, Canada.
I know, right?
Why are you still there?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I traveled. I've been to Poland. I've been to Germany. I've been to France. But
are you married now?
I'm not married.
But you're dating someone there?
I'm not dating someone in Turkey.
Not
but
the person is where? The person is back home?
No, not back home. Somewhere around the world. And so I'm looking forward to moving.
If their money is not good as compared to, as you did the exchange rate compared to dollar and all that, I mean, when you change it to dollar, if it's not good, why are you still there? That's the question.
Okay, as I said before, saying this before. What made me to stay in Turkey? Okay, while I finished school, I was working in Turkey. I had someone I was engaged to, and this
Okay.
person was living in the UK.
Okay.
And then we were like, okay, I don't want you. Okay, I remember going to Germany, and the guy said, if you remain in Germany, it's over between us. So I moved back because we were processing, wanted to do the wedding process, everything like normal for you to come over. If you've moved to Germany, oh, I don't want, and that. So I came back, okay, stayed in Turkey and all that. And things didn't work out. And I said, why did I come back? Okay, I regretted. But then I had to keep pushing, and hopefully I'll be leaving Turkey soon.
What are you telling our brothers and sisters? I mean, those who are planning to come back, to come to Turkey, to come and hustle and all that. I mean, some people are still stubborn academy. They are hearing all the news and whatever they are telling them, but some of these agents will be telling them different story, and they get convinced and all that. They still want to come. What are you telling them? I know some will say, okay, if it's not good, why are you still there?
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
Some people say that, oh, if that place is not good, why are you still there? But when they come,
I'll tell you something, right? I'm still even here. The reason why I'm still here is because at least I can survive. I can pay my bills. I can save money. I can do this. At least I have something that also in Turkey, the more you live, because they pay according to your experience. Okay. You understand? A teacher who starts teaching today, whether you have a PhD, you are not equal to a teacher who has an undergraduate who has been teaching for 3 years. You cannot be paid the same, unless I don't know about other people. So I've been here, and at least I can survive. I know how the country is. You understand? And you might not know because I also have a friend who is here, and she has all the opportunity to go to America and all that, but she wants to get married to a Turkish. You don't know what plans I have for my life. You understand? So I will tell you, yes, you're going to ask me why I'm here, but I'm going to tell you, instead of investing millions to come to Turkey, because from Cameroon, I remember the last time I checked, that was last year, they said to get a visa to come to Cameroon was 2.9 million Cameroon francs CFA. I don't know how much it is in
dollars.
In dollars, that's about let's say $5,000.
$5,000.
Yes. For a visa, I mean tourist visa, like tourist visa.
$5,000 or $500?
5,000. I mean from Cameroon, $5,000
to come to Turkey.
Yes, right now.
Why? $5,000. Why?
I'm telling you, not even. And then you see somebody pay that $4,000, $5,000 and come, and I'm like, really, But then when you want to talk, somebody's gonna say you are there. So what are you saying? Because the last time I asked, I'm telling you, tourist visa from Cameroon, 2.9 million. That is almost $5,000. And someone is still gonna pay
$5,000 just to stop people from coming there, or I don't understand it. Because $5,000 is a lot of money.
The agents. That is the agents.
Connection agents. Okay,
yes.
Agents. Okay.
It's not what is there. It's not the agents.
Why should I pay $5,000 for Turkey?
Yeah. The agents get to Turkish. The agent gets Turkish people to give them the invitation and all that. They package all the documents for you, and you only go and deposit your passport. And then even sometimes when the visa comes out, they say after paying that $5,000, they say ask you to pay for your flight ticket, which is to and fro, because you have to prove that you're coming back. And the flight to and fro will be like $1,000. That means you want to spend close to $6,000 just to come to a place that it would. How many people have made that $6,000 in Turkey? Before you save $6,000, that's $6,000 in Turkey. You go here.
Like I said, when it comes to these agents, they will tell you these sweet things and they convince you.
They will tell you anything
smart,
to collect your money.
If you are not smart, you go and pay those money for only tourist visa. You pay $5,000.
Yes.
How much is that? How much is the plane ticket?
Yeah, how much is the plane ticket to and fro will be almost is like $1,000. You pay for all that, then come here and you cannot feed yourself. Do you know what it means for somebody in Africa to be having $6,000? But then
That's a
when
lot of
someone posted on social media, 5 million Cameroon francs CFA or visa to Turkey. And I went on there and I said, give me the 5 million. And I saw people coming and saying, hey, you think which business can you do in Cameroon with 5 million? The man will get free now. Say you come to Turkey. Before you walk that 5 million, you will hear it. I'm saying you come to Turkey, you will be girls that have gone back.
How many years will you work in Turkey to save $5,000?
No, you know, it also depends.
You have been there for 10 years, but how many years will you work in Turkey?
You know,
to save
one thing,
$5,000?
it depends on how, first of all, how economizing of a person you are. If you like luxury, if you like to live luxury, live in better houses, look good, wear expensive stuff, don't expect to have money in your account.
So just give me rough, like how many years?
Somebody like me, right? I don't only teach. I do a side hustle. I have a baby mother care shop in Cameroon.
Okay.
In Yaoundé, you understand?
Okay, you are doing business back home. Okay.
Yes, all Saturdays are for my buying. I go to the factories out of Istanbul. I buy the stuff from the factory and then send back to the shop in Cameroon. So my money doesn't even come from teaching. Teaching is to me like, I don't want to stay home every day. I want to occupy myself.
Okay.
But still, I want to make money. You understand? So what can give you money in Turkey is business. It's not working. So take it that you are doing a side hustle, doing business, and then teaching. And that $5,000 you can have it in 1 year. Why not? You can have it in 1 year. But if it's teaching, that $5,000 can take you 3 years. If you are depending on teaching.
Will you return to go stay in your country permanently in future? Do you have any plans?
Nope.
Why no?
Yeah.
Why no?
Why? What will I say? I think, when I go to Cameroon, it's always very boring. It's always because all my friends I knew back then, we are no longer friends, and most of them have moved to different countries. So it's always very boring. Like I try to make new friends. Most of my friends are either in America, Europe. I don't really have friends back in Cameroon. Maybe the only thing that would take me back in Cameroon, if the person I'm with says, okay, let's go back to Cameroon and settle in Cameroon. But he's not in Cameroon. He doesn't plan that. So unless he says, let's go to Cameroon and start life in Cameroon, that's the only thing that will make me to move back to Cameroon. If not.
Ricky, have you asked yourself this question? Look at the resources we have in Africa, stuff that we have in Africa. But look at the youth. We're moving to all these places and they are maltreating us, don't respect us and all that. How do you feel? We have all whatever it takes to make it in Africa. But look at us.
It's so unfortunate that corruption has eaten deep. Corruption has eaten deep into Africa, that we have all the resources, but people are still suffering. I even think in Ghana it's even better. Like in Cameroon, it is horrible. We have the resources and everything has been sold to France. People have to even bribe in order to to take government exams. Like you finish, and for you to even get just to write the exams, you have to bribe. The resources we have in Africa, still we can't even live life. We can't even work. We can't even, I don't know. For example, right, I'm trying so hard to have a stable business in Cameroon. But I tell you that the tax is heavy. The tax I pay every year, when I look at it, I'm like, nah, how can business survive in Cameroon? How are people doing it? Like for business to survive is the corruption. Today they come, they say they want to take tax for this, tomorrow tax for this. The same people come, tax for this. And when you don't give, they don't even want to listen to whatever you have to say. The next thing, they close your shop. So somehow surviving in Cameroon, especially with business, is very difficult. If I were to be in Cameroon, I think I would have already given up. But maybe the fact that I'm working and I'm buying directly from the source is what even keeps the business going. It's hard. I don't know how people are surviving, because I look at how bad things are. I'm like, how are you guys surviving? How are you making it? People are not able to eat 3 square meals because I don't know, but it's hard. It's such a pity.
So the only means for the youth is to give up and travel abroad.
People
that's
are,
what
no, I wouldn't say. I think that's not the only means.
What can we do?
I
Some
will
people
say
too are making it. As you are
Yeah.
saying, some people who are in
Yes.
Cameroon and they are
I
making it.
think one thing
Not
that
not into political, but they are making it as business guys
Yes.
and all that.
I think that there's something. I think, the youths of now or in Africa, we like clean jobs. We want white collar jobs. But we forget that the people that are really making money are people who are doing dirty jobs. Example, agriculture, fishing. I think that is one thing that if I have to move back to Africa, I'm going to tap into. You see, agriculture, fishing, those kind of dirty jobs. You think even then people forget that we eat food every day. There is no way you're going to own a restaurant or cook food in Africa that you will not succeed. We eat food. If you are someone you want to survive in Africa, stop looking for businesses, starting businesses that are gonna, like, I want a boutique. That is not something to do. Any smart person, keep your degree, your certificate at home. If you're in Africa, keep your certificate at home. Look for job or look for something. Start something that you need. Dirty jobs are paying. We see people who are into agriculture and fishing. It might look like, oh, it's nasty, it's dirty, it involves a lot. But those people, when they want to harvest or when their income, like the money they get, the harvest is always huge. Those people, if you notice, most of those people prefer to stay back home because no matter what, people will still feed. And those people into agriculture, they are making the money because the more things are getting hard, they increase their food prices and they make a lot of money from it. But it's unfortunate that most people, somebody's graduating and thinking of going to work in an office. You should keep your certificates. Forget about working in an office if you're graduating, unless you have some connection, your parents are well-to-do. But someone from a poor family, you have to hustle by yourself. If you graduate as a young girl, if you can't find a job, start cooking food. Start making juice, natural juices. Start something. Look for something you're passionate about. Even if you don't have something you're passionate about, learn hairdressing. Girls are obsessed now with making hair, doing eyelashes, makeup. Just you going to someone's house and doing the makeup and eyelashes, everything in my country is about 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. At least learn those basic things. Use them to survive for now. That's what I can say.
Is it like we are most of us, we are picky when it comes to jobs?
Yes.
But when we travel to Obodo, white man's country, we do everything.
Yes. When we travel,
then we say, the money is good, so we'll do every job, we'll do it. But when we are back home, we don't want to do we don't want to start it small.
Yes. Like this thing they call a cleaning service. I know of a girl who is, this is not something that is popular, right? But people don't know about this. Starting a cleaning company is something that is very good. Cleaning service. You don't need to employ anybody. You be the one cleaning those chairs and everything. Have your phone number, do advertisement, create a page. So I always tell people, if you're not making money from social media, what are you doing on social media? I'm not saying you should make huge sums of money, but don't create a page to troll people, comment and like and follow and do that. Have something. For example, I am on social media, even my Facebook. I have a business Facebook. I post my stuffs. I see girls who create pages. They do cleaning services. They put their numbers on the streets, with contacts, and they put their pictures or they put how they've cleaned in other places, their social media pages, and people call them, oh, you come this way and clean. Even they clean hotel rooms, they clean restaurants, chairs. Just get you can just get all these stuffs that are used for cleaning, brush, detergents, buy and keep on your own. They call you, you go to a house, clean the chairs, and they pay you your money. And then as it grows, you start to employ people to join you. Maybe some Saturdays you now go like 5 people. This is how you build your name, your brand. Stop waiting for the government to offer you a job. You will wait and wait. If you are picky, it's gonna really be hard. If you're picky, it will be hard if you're picky. If I have to go back to Cameroon, I think I'm not looking at going back to Cameroon to get a job, because that is something that, how much are they going to pay me? So I'm looking, if I go back to Cameroon, I want to start a cleaning service or get into agriculture. Even if I'm not even good at cooking, I could start like something like a small restaurant bar. People drink in Africa, no matter how poor somebody is or how frustrated they are, they drink to cure their frustration. So no matter how much drinks or food you have, you will sell them. You will sell them. Even if you just open a little place, put 2 chairs, you will still see people sitting there every morning till evening. So I think anything food, there's no way you will not sell in Africa. No matter how bad it is, we must eat and drink. That is what we say in Africa. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on SVTV International. Like I said,
thank you.
You are my first guest, 2024, to come on this new channel, Africa Worldwide. This is a new channel for you guys. We have SVTV Africa and this is SVTV International. The international is for English. I know most of people who have come on our show on our other channel, they complain that they don't understand the language, our local dialect. So we decided to bring this English version. So this is for only English. Come on, come and share your experience. Come and tell us what's happening around you, what you've learned, what you do, and all that. Rikia, thank you so much for coming. Your social media handles. You can mention your social media handles, and then thank you so much for coming. Shout out to your friends, people back home.
Shout out to all those people who don't know me, or especially on TikTok, and they support me. Like, they're always there to comment. My TikTok name is With Rekia. As the name written, Rekia, with Rekia, with W-I-T-T-H and Rekia. W-W-I-T-H with, then Rekia, R-E-K-I-A. With Rekia, that's my TikTok name. And my Facebook is with Rekia as well. My Facebook page is with Rekia. I have a couple of followers. And Instagram, I'm not really into Instagram. My Instagram name is just Rekia. And I thank you guys so very much for having me here. I hope I was able to say something.
I'll bring you again.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I will be ready to come. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a fantastic experience. It was lovely having to talk with someone like this. It was cool. Thank you very much.
I also enjoyed you. Do you have special people to give them shout outs or something?
Of course, I want to shout out. I want to shout out to my number 1 fan, my supporter, someone who is always there for me. Like, if I post something and it doesn't even go well with people, and people are trying to, or she will be like, don't care, my elder sister, Ladifa. Thank you so much for always being there for me. She's always there for me. To my mom, I'm saying this to my sister because she will see this, and she is always there. She's my number 1 fan. Wow. Thank you very much, sister, for always being there for me. Yeah. And thank you to my customers, because I've met lots of people on TikTok who have come to me, and we've done some businesses. Yeah, I'm in Turkey. If you're looking for a personal shopper or you want to buy anything from Turkey, I'm always there. You can trust me 100%.
Wow, nice one. Yeah. How do you say thank you so much in your language?
Beriwo.
Beriwo.
Yeah, Beriwo.
So I want you to tell your people all Cameroonians in your language that they should come to SVTV International. They should come and subscribe and start watching our videos.
Okay,
Tell
let me
them.
say that in French as well, because some people
Okay,
might
you
not
can
know.
say if you can. Also, you speak French too.
Yeah, I speak French.
Okay, so you say that in French, in your local dialect, and
yeah,
and
though
and,
I'm not.
and what?
And
which
no,
one
this is
again?
my local
Turkish.
dialect. And Turkish.
Okay. Okay, go. I'm listening. Over to you.
Bonjour les amis, venez à SVTV International pour regarder. Nous parlons de toutes les choses. Nous parlons de la vie. Nous parlons de notre pays. Nous parlons de toutes les choses. Vous pouvez venir ici. Si vous voulez parler, vous pouvez le contacter. Il va vous amener sur live. Vous parlez ce que vous voulez parler. Merhaba arkadaşlar. Türk olabilirsin. Afrikalı olabilirsin. İstersen bu TV'de gelebilirsin. Her şey konuşuyoruz. Yemek olarak konuşuyoruz. Ülke olarak konuşuyoruz. Her şey. Sizi bekliyorum. Teşekkür ederim. Thank you guys. Now I'm going to speak in my dialect. Not too good. Not well. Beri ven feyi. Aventa wifen. Isunin adven wifen. Anytime. Adven we contact un. Usunin vena uno wiven iti ven ven sunin. Yong vinyo ven. Yong fo ven wiyin. Yong viyiki ven yi. Kufakidam. Beri ven feyi.
Bene.
Very. Thank you so very much.
Ricky, thank you so much for coming on my show. This program is called Daily Hustle Worldwide, and the channel name is SVTV International. Guys, you heard me say, it's my first interview on SVTV International. We have other videos there, but 2024, we just started this channel. So make sure you subscribe. We'll bring you more. If you also want to come on my show, my numbers are on the screens. Just WhatsApp me or send me a voice note. Wherever you are, all you need is the internet. Come, let's have a vibe, fun. Let's learn from others. I mean, it's open to all. I'll thank my production team. Subscribe, share to your friends. My name is DJ Nyame. I'm out.